Hello, Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, any placement of Libra. School Us Intuitive here. It's Tiff, and I am here with your weekly reading. So we're going to cover things like money, relationships, just general messages. I'll share tarot cards, oracle cards, channeled messages, even use my crystal ball as needed. And let's go ahead and get started. So we'll use our tarot tokens first. I do only take what resonates, leave the rest. So for April 20, what did I say? Did I say it already? April 27th to May 3rd. First card or first token is the High Priestess. She came out in your last reading in the card form, and now we have her as a token. So High Priestess, Libra. What else do we have? Ooh, Strength. I don't think we've had this token in a while. Strength. Could be leaning into your own spirituality, own intuition, giving you some strength here. Oh, okay. Here we go. All right. So I'm getting something here about how you're going to handle the news. So hopefully it's good news for you. But there is a full moon. Yeah, there is a full moon. Let me just get my calendar. It looks like there is a full moon, Libra, and it is the Scorpio full moon, and it's on May 1st. So yeah, that's going to be what, Friday? So depending on where you are in the world. But yeah, May 1st, full moon in Scorpio. So it seems like, I think, that makes sense. We'd be getting such an intuitive energy. It could just be a very intuitive week for you overall. If it hasn't happened yet, there could be some good news, but it could also be an unexpected visitor in some way. All right, for some of you, you could also discover new ways to create more financial stability. And I get sort of, like a new phase. There's a completion, but there's also a new phase of maybe it has to do with career stuff, but it could really have to do with anything, right? I feel like there could just be a short visit, either that you make or that someone else makes, that someone makes to you. And I'm also seeing something here about it kind of feels like you're going to be taking some steps with someone else. You could literally go for a walk with someone, or it could be that there's a partnership and you move forward. I guess that would make sense. It is a new month. Sometimes that can happen. You start new leases and things like that. But so there's just, again, there's that message. But then it does feel like there could even be some level of volunteerism, collaboration, that sort of thing, getting started on a project. I always find it interesting when a month starts with a full moon, because the full moon, represents the end of that moon cycle, right? And usually it's like a letting go, things coming to completion, right? But yet it's the beginning of a new month here. So you may just find things start off a little, you might feel a little out of sorts or something. That's just what I'm getting. So I don't know if it means we're going to have more, um, like, what I'm getting is actually like solar flare type stuff. So I'm doing this reading weeks in advance, because I have to deal with some personal stuff going on. So I'm doing this weeks in advance. So I'll be curious to know if that actually does happen for us. But yeah, there's just something about like the skies and things happening there. We do have Uranus moving into Gemini. It just happened, actually. At the time of this recording, it will have just happened, like yesterday. So just, things to consider. Communication, in innovation. We could see big changes now happening with that if it hasn't already come out. Technology, right? This is, yeah, I feel kind of like there's some sort of end of the month surprise for us too, as a globe. It kind of feels like. So maybe it's a surprise in the sky, or maybe it's just some sort of surprise on the home front for you. But now surprises aren't always bad. I just want to remind you of that. And it feels like if you're dating, it could be a pretty good time for meeting someone new, or just there's some sort of excitement. It feels like there's sort of an exciting week, and like how we kick off May here. So we'll see what the cards have to say now, the rest of the cards. I actually want to start with the Galactic angel messages. I don't normally start with these, but hey, maybe I'm in that energy of like, we're ending a month with, or starting a month with a full moon, All right, let's see. So break the bonds that bind you. You're wrapped in a codependent situation. Interesting. It kind of feels, I do get this element of like enlightenment too. I do want to say that. And I feel like some of you may realize that you haven't fully released something or someone, and that you don't want that to sort of dilute, is the word I'm getting, any sort of new start, like how strong it could be. You wouldn't want someone to you wouldn't want something or someone to compromise your new beginning. There's something here too about avoiding jumping to conclusions, and know that you are protected at this time. A divine intervention is currently happening. So breaking those bonds and protection. And yeah, I get like this sort of like, yeah, you'll be jumping for joy, but that could be so many different things. I like things to be a little more specific here on this channel. What else? Be careful too with, I'm getting this energy of like something protruding through the surface, or something coming to the surface. But I don't know that it fully does. So this, in a physical sense, it could be like, I mean, I don't know. It could be a lot of different things. Okay. So it could be, I mean, the thing that's coming to mind, which I didn't really want to say, is sort of like a cyst or something like that. It's like you think something's coming to a head, and then it's like is about as aggravated as it could be, and then it doesn't, and it kind of dissolves on its own. So I'm wondering if there is sort of this like things come to a head, but then there isn't this big shift in energy. It just kind of feels like, and then it kind of settles. So, oh my gosh, there could be this moment, maybe it's globally, where people are kind of on edge, or something feels like it's about to erupt, and then it doesn't. Okay. And it's kind of reabsorbed either by the earth, or, if it's a physical thing with you, maybe it's like the body reabsorbs it. So just, yeah. And obviously always get things checked out. I do have to say that. So I know those seem kind of strange, but a lot of the times my messages can come off like that until it actually happens. And then we understand why. But yeah, April, end of April, emotional transformation, maybe too, in some way. So soon we'll be lifting the veil. You'll see the light. You're going to understand why something, came to be how it was, how it did. And then how will today shape your future, Libra? So this is about having the opportunity to make some sort of difference. And I do feel things like volunteerism could come into play. Yeah, Venus into Gemini too, by the way, just a couple days ago. So this could really give you this energy of like wanting to travel or wanting to explore more. Yeah, I just feel like strategic thinking, and even, like I said, partnerships could be strong right now, and changes and innovation keeps coming in. And I think it's because of Uranus and Gemini too. So some things to keep in mind. All right. And your next reading will be all about May. So do check that out on Tuesday if you're interested. Now let's get into some tarot. If you do end up liking this video, please do give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, hype, become a member, all the stuff, whatever you'd like to do. All right, so yeah, Pisces energy, Leo energy coming in with these two tokens here. I get sort of this, like, just this absolute limitless energy. Um, but there is something interesting. There's something about that energy of the moon, of and I'll do a reading on that full moon in Scorpio. That'll be your Thursday reading. So Tuesday will be your May reading. Thursday will be this about the moon and how that will affect you, Libra. Um, but I'm just looking at this high priestess, and yeah, there's just something about that moon and the energy. And there's something almost like things being kind of split, but like having to do with each other. Hard to explain, but oh my gosh, I'm sure it'll come out. And here's another high priestess. I mean, look at that. You have the high priestess, strength, and then the high priestess. Yeah, there seems to be overlap. And so I'm wondering if like boundaries are going to be really super important right now. I think so. What's yours versus what's mine, or what's good for me versus what's good for the group, could really come into the spotlight, I think, or I should say I feel. That's what I'm feeling. Yeah, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So the Seven of Pentacles is figuring out, is it really worth my time, worth my effort? I think with the high priestess, though, we're going to talk about, we have so much to talk about. But with the high priestess here, it's important to see things through and realize that where you are now is not where you're going to be in 5 years, just like where you are now is likely not exactly the same as where you were 5 years ago. I am getting that. I am getting something here really paying off because you um, make something a little more effortless. All right. It's sort of that paradoxical, while if you work less, you get more. And that came through in one of your readings not too long ago. So, what else do we have? I'm putting in less, but getting more back. And that's the thing, too, with the strength card, is like they know how much force to use, right? And when to kind of pull back, too. So, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, they're very resourceful, right? They know exactly how to get things to grow. Oh, we have the Chariot flipped over. I did not even mean to do that. So we have the Chariot now. All right. So you already have, not including the tokens, you have two major arcanas, a queen. I get, it's like getting clearer on which direction to go. And getting this much higher perspective. There's something here about how something came in. I almost feel like you're going to be surprised how you handle this. That's what it feels like, a surprise in how you handle something, because it's not, or you surprise someone else how you handle it, because it's not typical. It's not like a typical response. Or maybe you encounter somebody or something this week where it's just there's something atypical about how they respond. All right. Or you could find that people and animals, kids, they're more responsive to your energy. And it almost feels like you're kind of, you yourself have this like glow up about you. This there's something here about energetically you being almost magnetized for good news, even, is what I'm hearing. Let's see what else. Let's hope that's true, right? Okay, so for Libra, so Queen of Pentacles, yeah, if you're wondering, oh, should I invest more into this with that Seven of Pentacles, you then have that Queen of Pentacles. And she's definitely, she's clear, she knows how to take care of things. She's very practical too, so it may be very it might be in it, good advice here now to any opportunity you have to really take care of it, and be very practical about investments and things right now, and avoiding others' greed. I'm getting that. Okay. And then how will today shape your future? Having an opportunity to make a difference, Libra, that's when you have the Chariot. And I feel as though you're going to be able to move forward with something that has required a lot of discipline may involve travel, and it may mean you're going to have to act swiftly when it does come in. But I feel like you already have put a lot of research, time, effort into something. So it's like, that's why you're already ready to go, it feels like, or that's the advice from spirit. You have the King of Swords. He did come out in your last reading too. And this is the king of clarity, the king of direction. And so this is this nice balance of what you're feeling and you're in seeing in your mind's eye versus what what you know to be true, maybe. Strategic thought looks really good this week, really good. And I think, again, I think it's because we have Venus and then Uranus in Gemini, and Gemini is like, they're considered some of the most uh, is mentally agile and talented as far as, I don't know how else to say that, but they have the very sharp mind, right? Gemini, really good for communication, innovation. They also represent the youth too in the tarot, Gemini. So just, it's, well, not in just tarot, in astrology, I mean. So yeah, you could too just feel like you're being, you can look at something multiple ways here. You could look at it as, so like, perspective is going to be everything this week. And again, you might surprise yourself by how you choose to respond to something or not respond, how something comes to um, awareness, or how you arrive at a certain conclusion. It's like how you get there. The journey is just as important as the answer itself. So there's just definitely, I'm getting so many channeled messages with this week for us. So, but you could feel as though you go in a direction that you were not expecting to go in, but you choose to do that. It's like you somehow have this, like, maybe you get sort of like insider information as far as something, investment or something like that. You get like intuitive hits or something on it. It wouldn't actually be like insider in, like, in a real sense, financially or anything, nothing like that. I'm saying it's like, um, you somehow get, maybe you get it, yeah, like a download or a tip in some way. I don't know. So yeah, interesting, right? And then we have the Eight of Cups, and so they're pretty confident in walking away here after they've done their assessment. So some of you, it's like you've done enough analyzing, and now you're moving on. You're moving forward, whether you're moving away or you're moving forward. Same but different. Yeah, it's like you're not necessarily sure, but you're confident in yourself and your ability to make the necessary changes and adjustments. And there we have the Empress, and we have Judgment. So look at that. Wow. This is a wake-up call regarding your abundance. This is a wake-up call regarding just how creative you can be. And this is also getting some sort of news that helps you feel a little more connected or in the flow, feeling more fertile. This is what's clarifying the Queen of Pentacles, the Empress, and Judgment. Wow. This is like you having that final decision without a doubt. You're knowing, this is where I need to do, this is where I need to be, this is what I need to do, this is who I need around me, and this is who I don't need around me. It's sort of like you're actually unapologetically, possibly taking time off even, or just taking off, because I'm getting taking off. All right, what else do we have? Let's see what else we have here, if there's anything. I get a name like Germaine, and I'm picking up actually on headaches as well. I don't know if you have an occasion that some of you are needing to celebrate, or what that is, or you're celebrating someone's arrival, or what, which I guess that could be even birthday. But I am seeing a little bit of like stress around that. And there's something here too about needing to be honest going forward, and maybe you're just needing to make sure that you're all on the same page as far as that with the particular group. What else do we have for Libra, please? Best messages for Libra. Yeah, many major arcana. Oh, still like half your cards are. And you, oh, there's another one. And you have the Emperor. So now you have the Empress and you have the Emperor. This feels like you're quickly moving in a new direction or a direction. Again, it's not necessarily going to be totally new for some of you. That's what I'm being asked to stress, okay, is that it's not necessarily a totally new direction. You don't have to completely reinvent the wheel, so to speak, to have success. All right. Some of you, it's just being clear on exactly what to do is going to be just as powerful as the step itself. Again, there's something about like the details mattering, how something comes to be mattering. Again, strategic thought, strategic planning here with this Emperor, really being in control, being that authority, being at the wheel of your own life here with the Emperor and the Chariot, and investing wisely. Invest wisely, Libra. I want to know if it's about, let's get some career money cards here. I want to know about that. Let's get some money moves cards. Money moves. Keep it colorful. Keep it bright. Money moves. If it's, yeah, it's about money. Tell us. Connected. So go as far as you want. So this is social media, online, network, electronics, web-based, accessible. Goes right along with that Uranus and Gemini. People say Uranus. I still say Uranus. So I hope you're not upset by that. All right. Timing. Yeah, everything's in the timing. So patience, divine timing. Some of you are going to decide that you need to hold off, on whatever this is, not moving forward yet, but you can expect beautiful things here. Maybe some of you are in like the beauty industry or somehow beautification. We are, after all, in Taurus season, fellow Venusian ruled zodiac. And so fashion, cosmetic, yeah, you could be receiving some sort of gift or award even. There's endings, though. It's time to say goodbye to something or someone. Authority, yeah, you're not meant to follow. You have an Empress and an Emperor. There you go. You're moving on, all right, because you're ready to boss up. Remember I said I was getting, star and sun type vibes, or at least I thought I said that. I was getting sort of, like stardom. Some of you could even, and this came through in someone's reading not too long ago, you could even meet a celebrity, or you are a celebrity in your own right. So this is about letting the obstacles teach you, the struggle teach you. And I do feel, though, like I said, gifts, there they are. You're using your gifts, you're getting gifts. This could be tangible rewards in some way. You could be using some sort of latent ability, but this is some sort of prize, a bonus, a win after the obstacles, after the endings, right? Some of you are making new connections. We have flexibility. So this is being very flexible in your methods. Not one way is going to work. Like we have to be versatile. We have to, some things we do have to be the ones who adapt, right? It's a really good skill to be able to know how to adapt. And you also have wish granted. Yeah, okay, so great. You have gifts, you have a wish granted. This is looking pretty good. So there is success, there's fruition here. Something that was once, in just a dream is now you're seeing it become more tangible. You're seeing it come into existence here. All right. Now, if it's a relationship, I do want to get some relationship cards here. Let's use the clarifying love situations. We'll get crystal cards, animal cards, angel numbers, and we'll see how to keep it high vibing this week too. Libra. And that. I'm actually hearing clairaudiently about patio furniture, or maybe the name Patty means something to you, but I am getting being outside, like garden. It kind of bringing me to that Empress sort of thing. We have ghosting in the air and heartbreak. Okay, so it could be challenging as far as pain could be signaling it's time to grow. It's time to move on. You know, you could feel as though someone's ghosting or you're the one ghosting and they're just, the communication is not happening. And it's like almost like it really should be for whatever reason. It's not. Something feels in the air, up in the air. So there could be some sort of, that could be having to do with what that ending is, you know, that's underneath that. But then it's kind of like, you know, set yourself free and you'll be glad you did, with good things manifesting here with good luck. But then others, I do feel that sometimes it's just the timing. The timing's a little off. So it's not like it's anything other than that. But then they're okay. Then you have rebuilding. So rebuilding, I get that some of you are just rebuilding your network in general, not even, you know, romantically or anything like that. But it does feel more of, there could also be just this sort of like stop start energy with a certain someone or situation. And we have justice here, and you're going to get the truth regardless. All right. So there's something here like, you know, that whole like action speaking louder than words. It does feel like that's true. But it also feels like there is something very valuable about the words themselves and how they do have meaning. And you know, it would be nice to have that conversation. Eyes on the prize here with sunglasses. But I'm getting something about steering clear of, steering clear of travel. Interesting. So maybe you decide you don't want to go on some sort of trip with somebody. Now, this isn't like if you're traveling for other reasons. This is getting, I mean, I guess it could be, but if it's like if you were thinking you want to go travel with somebody, maybe you decide, you know what, we're not there yet on our relationship, or you're not interested maybe in some sort of long term or long distance thing, even. Yeah, home's where the heart is. How funny is that? I just said you're not interested maybe in a long distance thing, and we get at home. I mean, what are the odds of that? Like, really? So that could signify, that could mean something. That seems like that could be a very real message for some of you, that you're wanting to stay a little too close to home or closer to home. It could also be a little more affordable at this point too, obviously, with the price of things, to be a little closer. But what else? With the Ace of Swords, there's the truth, there's the clarity, there's that sharp mind I was talking about, all this Gemini energy. Gemini season moving in May, actually. And then we have Temperance in reverse. So it feels to me like some of you are feeling conflict, chaos, excess. If there's just been too many thoughts, too many voices, things like that, just a lack of harmony, people going to extremes. You know, I feel like you're staying above that. And that's good. That's a good thing. Very good thing. We have the Knight of Swords here. Yeah, we don't want to be the ones being impulsive right now. Okay, that's just it. But I feel you might be dealing with some sort of swift energy. Somebody who could feel a little unpredictable. I mean, things in general feel unpredictable. So the best thing we can do is focus on what we're able to control ourselves. We have the Sun, and there is that'll be our greatest success. It'll keep us. It'll keep our energy, you know, strong, and it'll help our health, our well-being, if we can you know, focus on joys every day, no matter what's going on. Focus on what brings you joy. Maybe it's your work, maybe it's a hobby, maybe it's getting out there and helping others, maybe it's you know, writing. It could be so many different things for so many of you. Maybe it's time with your kids, right? Let's see, how do we stay high vibing here? Let's get the high vibing cards out for the Libra collective. Sun, that's great. That is like, I just get this is going to be a big week of awareness for you. But you know, think about it. Like I said, we have this full moon at the beginning of a brand new month, and I feel wow, there's just this energy. And again, I'll do your May reading next, but I feel it already. May is like this, like action oriented something, feels pretty big. And it feels to me like the first few weeks of May feel differently than the last part of May. And I'm not sure if there's just a lot of like, I'm almost getting a lot of like commotion or moving parts, even. Just seems to be a lot happening. Almost like a lot of chatter. I feel a lot of chatter. Communication, yeah. I mean, isn't Isn't Uranus in Gemini only in, is it? No, Uranus is in Gemini for a while. What was it? I wrote on my notes. There was something, as I do feel like the astrology plays into this. Oh, it was Mars in Aries until April 8th or still May 18th. Okay, so that's, yeah, fierce and intense, I wrote. Okay, so there's something here that feels very fierce and intense in that those few weeks there, all the way till like the 18th, which is interesting because I was getting the date of May 18th in my mind. Interesting. All right, so, oh, for hard times. So having a hard time with a situation. This is interesting. Imagine the person, people, or event being surrounded by sparkly white loving light. Make a cocoon of love around them or it. This will change the energy around the circumstances. Plus, it changes you. What else for Libra? Nature. So go outside. Go outside. Breathe the fresh air. Nature is perfection, even with its imperfection. It's magical. A forest needs old trees and new trees. It's a perfect balance. Immerse yourself in the middle of it all and know you are perfectly placed just where you are. Then you have barefoot, walk barefoot. So we're really kind of getting the message, like, if there is some hard times here, send in the love and light, right? And getting out in nature, barefoot, even better. Be careful, obviously. If it's, just be careful of objects and things, sharp glass, whatever. So take off your shoes, feel the ground inside or outside. Full benefit. Walk on a natural surface like grass, or even just imagine walking barefoot on a beach where it's warm. So connecting with the ground charges your body with the earth's energy, and it's naturally good vibrations. Your last reading came in hug a tree, so yeah, there is really something to be said here. Why do you think people buy those grounding mats? I mean, that is like connecting to earth energy, right? The frequency. All right. Okay, first card out. You have recall your dreams with lepidolite for your crystal card. What else for our crystals? For Libra, chrysocolla, start fresh. Yeah, it's like you'll be seeing something so clearly. All right, we have ocean jasper, schedule yourself in. Getting something here too about paying attention to your diet and turning the news off. So, yeah, but you do you, right? What do we need to let go of this week? Making the most of the energy. I want to get tarot cards again first, though. Yeah, there just seems to be just like the more I go into this reading, the more I'm feeling the energy, and it's like the word that's coming to mind is like a commotion. So it doesn't. Sometimes a commotion is a good thing, It could be like you're quickly getting ready for something really good, so like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I was going to get this opportunity, and now I have to like do this, this, and this. So there's like a lot of shuffling. It feels like that kind of energy, a lot of moving pieces. There are a lot of moving parts, a lot of things. There's a lot going on in the week ahead, it feels like, or it's like the start of a busier time. Okay, and again, like I said, I'm having to do this reading about a month in advance from when it's actually going to post. So I'll be curious about that. And I don't normally do that way out like that. I'm usually about a week ahead or maybe 2 weeks ahead. But this time I have to do it a little more because I have a lot going on in my own life. And I want to make sure you have your readings. We have the Knight of Pentacles here. So let me get more cards on that. It's not so cut and dry. And see, it's not so cut and dry. Because here's the thing. I knew that there's more to the story. That's just, there's more to the story than with something, okay? The Knight of Pentacles, great. You get this opportunity and it's like, okay, but wait. I now have to try to manage this and that. There was already maybe a lot going on, a lot to manage and juggle. So make sure that even if you're taking on something small that seems like a good idea, that you've really thought it through, right? And also the other thing is this opportunity could come in and not seem like much, and then you're not sure what to do about it. You make your decision, and Then, oh my gosh, you have the Fool and the Lovers. Wow. All right. So then you have this important choice to make about your new beginning. All right. And it may cause you, Libra, to have to be spontaneous. And I love that we have the Lovers here. That's Gemini energy. So this spontaneous choice could as long as your intentions are right, and like you have, you watch your footing, just again being mindful of the steps you are taking, like with the Fool card and the Two of Pentacles. Those are two of my indicator cards for watch your footing, be careful of the next steps, not in a scary way, just be mindful, be mindful of where you're going or what you're doing, your next step. And we can't always plan for everything, right? But this is a fresh start. It looks like, it feels like that, and it'll make sense later on. I don't think it's going to necessarily make sense right now, this week for you, or the week of the 27th to May 3rd. It feels kind of like the clarity comes, but first you have to make a decision. And I know that's not usually the order we want things. I feel like some of you do get the clarity. You've already had it. Okay, that was your last reading. Even you get this clarity, you know which way to go. But then I feel like there could be this point where like doubt kind of comes back in, and maybe because you're being impacted by things going on around you in a global sense, and it kind of almost like spooks you maybe. And then it feels like you're like, you know what, I've always done it this way. I'm going to try something new. Like I said, you could surprise yourself in how you handle this, or how you decide to change. It could be a sudden change. A lot of people have been getting the Tower. We've been getting the Tower a lot, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It can be something that's quick though, like a quick rebuilding or just sudden change in general. And sometimes, yeah, it's just like, oh, that was a surprise, I didn't expect that. Yeah. So there is, but it's leading to more harmony overall. And there's just something here about needing to trust. We have to trust. We've got to have that optimism of the Fool, right? Don't hold back. Move forward now. Moving forward, releasing what no longer serves you for new growth. Whoa. We have overcommitted and no worries. Yeah, like I said, be careful, even if you're taking on something that seems small. It's not a time to we want to be all in, putting our energy all in. We want to be very mindful. We only have so much energy and so much time, right? So many resources. Then we have no worries here. This is anchoring in the present and striking a balance. Be clear on your footing. Be stable, be solid as you make your decision, and not overcommit, and yeah, let's see what else. Let's get or, well, this one. You are enough. Growth is a journey. So progress, not perfection. That's right. You have enough to get started here. And more of the Galactic Angel cards. If you enjoy this reading, do please like, hype, subscribe, comment, become a member. Thank you. Appreciate you. We have ancient wisdom. So this is learning from the old ways, finding healing and enlightenment. There's but then it says a new perspective will follow. Like I said, how something comes to be is like the reverse order, just like this month starting with a full moon, right? So things are not really what they seem here, or you could have opposing energies really playing a vital role in these next steps for you. But it doesn't mean we shouldn't trust it. All right. We still have to trust in our new beginning to get our reward. It doesn't pay to give up, right? We know the outcome if we don't do things. You can always ask your guides for help. They can't always intervene without permission. And this is about approaching a fork in the road, listening to your heart. That'll lead you to where you're meant to be. Wow. You're getting same messages now. So finding strength and inner courage, right? Strength card, as well as High Priestess even. Strengthen your own knowing and how you feel. Stand your ground and stay true to your beliefs. Stay true to your beliefs. All right. Let's see what else we have. It feels kind of like all of a sudden, it's like it was a slow start and then all of a sudden feels rushed. That's the energy that what it feels like. Okay, so there's a sign of progression, 1, 2, 3, 4. So things are aligning for a new spiritual journey. Again, there's like lessons in the journey itself. It's not just how the outcome, right? There's peace within with 55 and or 2020 and positive change with 55. Whoa. All right. Anything else here? I'm getting a global moment. I mean, that's not a surprise. We've been getting them, you know. I mean, isn't everything a global moment, right? But I'm just telling you what I hear. Oh, yeah, there's definitely an emphasis on putting your thinking cap on, you know, really think like, but like, because the energy now supports it. It's like the clarity of thought is there more. You keep getting Ace of Swords now. And so, and the things like, you know, King and Queen of Swords. So, and again, it aligns with the astrology perfectly, but it's not, overthinking is still not a great idea. When is it, right? It's not, you know, mindful reflection. Okay. All right. That's it for that. Now, let me get some of our dumpster fire oracle cards. It's oracle cards to steer you away from hot garbage by Yes Oracle. Love that. Sloth Wizard. So this is wait with patience. Some spells take time. Let it simmer, not scorch. In sloth magic, slowness is called for. And lazy river, stay the course. Cute. Remain on the raft, go with the current, trust it knows where it's taking you. That's just it. Remember, it was like you're gonna, what is it? You'll find healing and enlightenment by learning from old ways, maybe, or ancient wisdom. And then the new perspective follows. And as I said, it's like not having to reinvent the wheel necessarily. And cosmic clock. So trust in that divine timing. Trust in divine timing. You're not late. Cosmic timing runs the schedule. You're right where you need to be. And then you have a suitcase snail. This is releasing your baggage. And you do have the snail on this Knight of Pentacles. So maybe before you take on something else or whatever it is, you need to release some baggage first, right? So this is emotional load weighing you down. Drop the extra weight and glide forward freely. You keep getting the Fool card in readings lately. The Fool travels lightly, right? I always say lessons, not luggage. All right. Don't let the lesson be bigger than you, right? All right. Let's see what else we have. Animal healing card. Wrap it up. Wow. All right. We'll wrap it up for Libra. Animal healing cards. 2 cards. White shark and DNA doorway with vulture. So you have card 47, vulture, DNA doorway, crown chakra. And this is the magic you seek is already within you. Listen to the wisdom of your body and allow your full potential to come to life. And then you have card 14, white shark, flow. Sacral chakra. Flow with the natural currents of life. There it is again, my friends. Be present, be alert, but don't let fear control your journey. All about the journey, right? So trust you're divinely protected. That's what I have for you. Members, you'll have your video later on tonight or later today in the evening. So thank you so much for being here. Take care. Have a great week, everyone.